One is Enough by Flora Nwapa. Chapter 8. Obiora sat with his mother, feeling very worried indeed. "Why are you worried?" his mother asked him. "Just tell me why you are so upset." "Why shouldn't I be upset? You have driven away Amaka and the mother of my boys. Are you now going to be my wife?" "How dare you talk to your mother in that way? How dare you?" As she lifted her hand to strike him, he dodged, but held her outstretched hand in the mid-air. "Now listen to me, mother. Listen very carefully to me. I hear Amaka is coming home, and I am going to see her. I am going to beg her to come back, and you are not going to interfere in any way, because if you do, I am going to kill you. It is not an empty threat. I am going to kill you. A man must have a home. Why don't you go to your home and leave me alone? Why don't you go to Obiora? He lives in Okigwe with his wife. Why don't you go there? Why must you run my day-to-day life? Because of you, I got the wretched woman who is no wife at all. She had the boys, and when she moved in, you would not let her be, and she has taken the two boys away, and I can't trace her now. And here you are, talking about that stupid girl you call your friend's daughter. Who do you think I am to have anything to do with that girl? She's young enough to be my own daughter if I had married early. So, no more of your matchmaking. As soon as Amaka returns, I shall go and see her and her mother." "You will do no such thing, I tell you, Obiora. You will do no such thing. Not when I am still breathing. Do you hear? Obiora, you wretched son, talking to your mother like that. I am leaving your house. You will come to me. You will come pleading that I should forgive you for the way you treated me today. Here it is." And she drew a line with her forefinger, as was customary. "You dare to bring the whore into this house, and you see what I, your mother, would do to you. You will know that though I am a woman, I am also a warrior." And she left her son's house and brooded for days. She heard that Amaka was at Onitsha, and that she was preparing to refund the dowry and all that. She also heard that she had refused to see her son Obiora, and she was particularly happy at this news. Just what is that miserable son of mine going to do with that whore in Lagos? She was going to have a child now that she was prostituting herself in Lagos. That was the thinking of people at home. Any woman who was unmarried and lived in Lagos was a common harlot. It did not matter whether she lived the life of a nun. She was a common harlot, and nobody at home would marry her. She had been condemned by her own home community. The same community would go to her for financial help if she had made it, claiming that they were close relations. And that was the experience of Amaka when she returned home to her mother. News of her fortune had traveled before her, and relatives were eager to come and welcome her. But her mother was there to protect her against the numerous relatives. Her mother directed her every movement. "I want to know your plans," she said to her. "Obiora saw me before you returned. I don't know who told him you were coming home, but he knew. So he came to see me, his second visit to me since you left him. He talked about reconciliation, blamed himself for his thoughtlessness and all those stupid things men say to us because they think we are stupid. I listened to him until he finished. Then I told him to bring his mother with him before you came, so that we could clear up the grounds for reconciliation. I never saw him again nor his mother. Later I heard he spoke to my sister and son-in-law, but nothing came of it." "What happened to the sons?" Amaka asked. "The mother of the sons could not stay with Obiora's mother, so she left with the boys. But I heard the children are not really his." "No, they are his all right. I saw them on one or two occasions. Our people lie a lot. She left because Obiora's mother is impossible to live with. What is your plan? You have not told me." "I have come to return the dowry to Obiora. Later I shall start divorce proceedings in the court. I understand it takes quite some time. You see, mother, I want to be free, absolutely free." "Apart from your contract and all that, are you happy in Lagos?" her mother asked. The people, contrary to Amaka's mother's ideas, believed that once a man or a woman had money, he was happy. He could buy happiness and contentment. Amaka hesitated before she answered. There was a lot she was now learning from her mother. Her mother had changed quite a bit. She was no longer harsh, and there was some respect in her voice when she spoke to Amaka now. What did this changed attitude mean? Was it because of her status? Was it because she now had money and could speak from a position of strength? Even her mother respected money. But who did not? Her new world had changed her life somewhat. She knew how important it was for her to travel to Onitsha that day at the airport, so she bribed her way through. She had to give 30 naira to an official for a boarding pass. That was a thing she could never have done before she went to Lagos and made her fortune. There was that air of importance now, and she could feel it. And what's more, she loved it. Money was meant to be spent, so one should spend it when one had it. I'm reasonably happy, mother. I work hard and I have friends. Ayo is of course there, and she has introduced me to her circle of friends, so I am quite contented. You are not living with a man? No, mother. Oh, mother, what questions you ask. I am your mother, you know. Mother, but how can we talk about such things? Why not? We are women, you know. I am your mother. I know how you feel. Mother, I am through with men. Let's talk about other things. But I thought you were sending back the dowry because there was someone else and... No, mother. I have said goodbye to husbands. That's better. Goodbye to husbands, not goodbye to men. They are two different things. Amaka laughed aloud. Mother, you are great. Of course you're right. Mother, you're always right. If I had listened to you in my youthful days, I would have had children without a husband like Ayo. Mother, Ayo and I get on very well. She's a sweet sister. Of all my sisters, she's the one I am really attached to. Yes, Ayo is good. But you must love all your sisters equally. You must stay together. You cannot be alone in this world. You need people, relations, blood relations to go through life. Now, about Obiora. You are sure you don't want him anymore? I am positive. He must be told then. Leave it to me. In the evening, Amaka's mother went to see the eldest man in Obiora's village and told him, We shall come, as is customary. If you don't accept the dowry, we shall leave it at your shrine. There was nothing Obiora could do, especially as his mother did not support him. If his mother were behind him, she would have raised hell. Now that we have taken care of that, my daughter, you should invite your age grade. They are entitled to share your fortunes. So they were invited, and they made merry and asked God to give Amaka tenfold of what she had spent in entertaining them. Just before they dispersed, one of them came alone and said, I understand you want to divorce your husband. Is that true? Yes, but how did you know? Well, I am a lawyer and I offer my services. My specialty is divorce cases. Amaka laughed out loud. Yes, we too must eat. Marriages are made and unmade. They laughed, and this incident reminded Amaka of one of her friends who told her how she went to an office where marriages were dissolved instead of the proper registry. The man stared at her and begged her to be careful of the man she was about to marry. And it was prophetic because the man she was about to marry turned out to be a ne'er-do-well who was deceitful. Before she went back to Lagos, Amaka's mother told her of a native doctor, a woman who was very good at making women pregnant. She did not lose anything by going to this woman, her mother told her. She had heard of barren women who were treated by this woman and they became pregnant. Would Amaka like to visit her? Amaka said she would, and that evening they drove to the woman's hut in a very remote part of Onitsha. Amaka wondered how anybody could live in that place and not be sick. The hut was low, that though she was not a tall woman by any standard, she had to stoop to go in. The hut was a mud one with a thatched roof. The floor was bare, but for a small stool used in pounding fufu. The bed was a bamboo one with all sorts of rags on it. The woman was at the back of the hut. She asked them to sit down and told them she would be with them shortly. She was busy with a client, and Amaka and her mother had come too early. When she came out, Amaka was surprised that she was a young woman, about her own age. Her appearance was clean and tidy. She welcomed them profusely, obviously having heard of Amaka and her mother. She looked at Amaka and smiled a knowing smile. "I am glad you have left your husband," she began. "He would not have given you a child. It is not your fault. It is not his fault either. You are just not compatible, that's all. Your case is a difficult one, nevertheless, because you should have had children before this new world of yours. Again, it is not your fault." "Whose fault is it then?" Amaka's mother asked impatiently. "If I had known you were going to talk in this way, I would not have brought my daughter. I have heard of your reputation and I thought you would help. So no nonsense, please. Will she have a child or not? Who is responsible for her barrenness these long years?" "We are not barren in my own family. Neither are there barren women in their own family. There must be a cause for this. What is it?" "Mother, don't be impatient with me. I know my job well. I know that you know yours. I say what is revealed to me by the gods. I don't say what my clients want to hear. If you are not satisfied with my approach, here is a consultation fee. You can leave." "Let's go, Amaka. What nonsense. Let's leave this dirty place. I didn't come here to be insulted." "Mother, wait. Why are you not patient? I used to think that the blood of the young burns in their veins and they act rashly. I am discovering that the young are even more tolerant than the old. Go on, I am all ears. I want to hear what you want to say. Yes, the fault is not mine. It is not my husband's either. What can be done? Is there a remedy?" But the harm had already been done. The woman could not go on. She had been disturbed. She could no longer communicate with her gods. She would no longer see anything, and she said so. "You can come again if you want," she said to Amaka, greatly offended. "There is nothing more I can do today." "Stupid ass," Amaka's mother said, storming out. Amaka could not resist smiling as her mother spoke in English. That was the only abusive remark her mother could say in the language. "Let's go home, my daughter. God's time is the best. You will have a child. In God's name, you will have a child. Do not worry. She knows nothing. What does she mean by new wealth? That was why I was angry. Hadn't she heard of me and your late father and all your ancestors? Why should she talk of new wealth as if wealth was not in my family and yours?" "But mother, you should have listened to her." "Listen to her insult us? And what do you call that? Good breeding. The trouble with you children who went to school is over tolerance. You tolerate nonsense. You suffer fools too gladly. You get hot and you hide your hurt. I don't understand you at all. I was witness to a delightful drama the other day." They got into the car and drove home. Amaka's mother continued. "I saw a woman hold her husband's trouser in the street as he was entering his car to go to work. The woman kept shouting, 'You can't go to work today without giving me soup money. What do you want me to do? Starve with my children while you go to work? You must give me food money today, this very day.' Passers-by collected as usual in Onitsha streets. The man was embarrassed. He fought, but the woman was resolute. Soup money, no work. That woman did not go to school. If she had, do you think she would have had the face to fight on the street? Of course not," she went on. "But she got what she wanted. Her husband was so ashamed that he wished the ground would open up and swallow him. That's it. That's what our men want these days. That's by the way. The woman is no use. She was not going to be effective either. I saw her, sized her up, and spoke to her. So don't worry." That day, the native doctor woman was visited by Obiora's mother. If Amaka and her mother had remained, both parties would have met face to face. The drama would have been too complicated to be described. Obiora's mother said, "I have to see you. I have a problem. It concerns my son who wants to marry a harlot from Lagos. Well, not exactly. She was my son's wife and she nearly killed him, then ran to Lagos. and now my son wants her back. Can you believe it? Wants a harlot back, while there are so many girls here wanting husbands. You must prevent this foolishness of my son's. He must not go to Lagos. He is threatening to follow her there. You must prevent this. That's why I'm here. I want my son here with me. I have had enough of one today, the woman Dibia said. Now wait and let me hear you properly. You have come on account of your son and this woman that he wants to follow to Lagos, am I right? You must be daft. Of course, yes. You do not mean that this woman lives in Lagos and your son is here and... Oh my God! Did I have water in my mouth when I was speaking? The woman you are talking about just left here with her mother. Say that again. Did I have water in my mouth when I spoke? No. Why were they here? To kill my son? Did they ask you to kill Obiora? How much did you take from them? I will give you the amount 100-fold. Talk, talk. Hold it, hold it. I never reveal anything about my clients, not even when they insult me. Say why you are here. Just tell me your business. You DBS are all the same. You are all deceitful. Why did you whet my appetite? Did I see your client? Did I ask you questions about who came and went? Weren't you the one who started it all? You miserable poverty-stricken woman. Who is insulting my wife? Who is the son of a bitch insulting my wife? The husband of the Dibia had come in and heard it all. You better ask your wife to behave, or else I will insult her the more, retorted Obiora's mother. I am not one of those she can trifle with. Oh, you are the one. I know you. Of course I know you. Is that your wife, the Dibia? But I saw her the other Sunday receiving communion. Is she a Dibia? And what are you doing here if you're a Christian and a communicant? You are not supposed to come to my wife. However, if you do not know, let me tell you, my wife is a good midwife. She received her gift directly from God above. She does what God asks her to do. She helps women to get pregnant, and that should not be against the teaching of the church. Why are you here anyway? You have passed childbearing age. What do you want from my wife? Our gods tear you to bits. Who has passed childbearing age? Your wife? Please leave her, my father, the Dibia pleaded with her husband. It must be my fault. I have not had a good day today. I must do something to appease the gods. I have never been insulted in this way before, and this year is the 10th year I have been in this profession. I have made many women pregnant. I have never done any harm to anybody, but this woman and the one before her came here to annoy me. Perhaps the gods are angry with me. Woman, go away. My business is to make women pregnant, not to prevent husbands from joining their wives. Your son has lost his wife forever. Nothing binds them anymore. So go away. Your son did not suit his wife, so she too has gone away, never to come back to your son. Now go away and leave me in peace. I can say no more. I have said what I have been asked to say, no more. Go, I have had enough for one day. She turned to her husband and said, Our father, welcome. You have not finished with me yet, Obiora's mother said. The devil himself has visited us today. Woman, what else do you want from my wife? What is the fee? I pay my fees. It is free, the Dibia said. Never! Nothing is free in our country today. All right, give her a head of tobacco. Here is 5 naira for a head of tobacco, and she left without saying another word. When she got home, Obiora was waiting for her. She embraced him. That's my son. That's my second son, my pearl, my real son. Where have you been? To the market. I have had a good time in the market today. Sit down and eat with me. You look tired. What have you been doing to yourself? I am fine, mother. You are worried. What is the matter? Nothing. There must be something. Amaka is about to go back to Lagos, and I heard she has got a lawyer to start divorce proceedings. I don't want that, mother. I hear she is very wealthy now. She has built a house in Lagos. She owns a car, and she moves in high circles in Lagos. She could be very useful to me. I want her mother. I am miserable without her. Obiora's mother allowed the words to sink in properly. She asked her son to go home and come again the next day. She did not sleep. She hadn't heard of Amaka's words until now. If she had heard, it had not sunk in until now. She had returned her dowry all right, but she could take it back. She knew how. The old men of home were poor. She knew how to deal with them. In the morning, she found out that Amaka had 3 more days in Onitsha before she went back to Lagos. She did not understand the court proceedings, but that would wait. Once she dealt with the dowry, all would be well. She went to the head of the family. After the usual greetings, kola was brought, and she put 1 naira on the plate for breaking the kola. The old man grabbed it as if he had never seen 1 naira before. "I have come about my son's wife," she began. "Which one?" the old man asked. "How many sons have I?" she asked evasively. "I mean, which of your son's wives?" "I didn't know he had any other one than the daughter of Okolo," she lied. "The whore who now lives in Lagos." "Just mind your tongue, old man. How dare you call my son's wife a whore?" "I must be getting very old. What is today?" "4. "And you are?" "Obiora's mother." "And this is my house." "Yes, I am in your house, and I have come to tell you to return the dowry which Obiora's wife's people brought back some weeks ago." "To me?" "Yes, to you. Obiora has made up with his wife, and they are both going to Lagos to live." "But Obiora's mother, Amaka's mother, said she would come, but she has not come yet. I have not seen her. I should not accept the dowry just like that. It is not done. You seem to forget our customs. All my brothers come and I tell them and we decide. You know I never impose my will on my brothers." "God bless you. Here is another naira and thank you very much." In no time, she was at Amaka's mother's house and fortunately found that Amaka was not in, but her mother was. Amaka had gone to look at a piece of land she wanted to buy in Onitsha, and her mother did not feel well enough to go to the market. Come in, Obiora's mother. You are welcome to my house. Please sit down and make yourself comfortable." Welcome, welcome. I have just eaten. Shall the cook prepare something for you? I bought very good fresh fish. I can prepare it while you wait. Oh, welcome. What can I use to make kola? You are in my house, and I am greatly honored. And the cook is not even here. Sit down. Oh, you are seated. Let's see the fridge. There is nothing in it. They were all lies. The fridge was filled with all brands of soft drink and beer and stout. She did not want her guests to have anything. Obiora's mother was, of course, not so easily fooled. They were both adepts at the game. Both knew what they wanted. Don't worry, Amaka's mother, or I shall say, my mother. Don't worry. I am in a course of injections and not allowed to eat cola or drink anything. I was just passing and thought I should pay you a visit and greet my daughter, whom I heard has returned from Lagos. I do wish these children could give me the eyes they used in seeing Lagos. I heard it is a most beautiful place, full of cars and bicycles and people, that it is easy to go to Lagos but difficult to return. My daughter has returned, so that saying has been proved wrong. Well, for Amaka, of course. Lagos is a marvelous place, Obiora's mother. You must find time and go there. I never knew there was a place like that until I went there. My, why were our children dying during the war when there was a place such as Lagos? Amaka's mother was pleased. At least, she had a clear edge on her enemy, the woman who wanted to destroy her daughter. She was under her roof. She didn't send for her. She came of her own accord, so whatever she got, she deserved. And you need to go to Kano. My son Chukuma is there with his white wife. They live in the area reserved for whites alone. And when I return from there, I feel and look 10 years younger. Then my son took me to a lake away from Kano. I could not believe my eyes. A lake in the midst of the desert. A lake as big, if not bigger than Oguta Lake. Just in the middle of nowhere. I was amazed. I asked my son how they brought the lake to that place, and my son told me it was man-made. Man-made. Can you believe that? That a man could make a lake and make fishes there as well? Obiora's mother, you must see Lagos and Kano and other places. This Onitsha has a way of making one old and sad and even ignorant. Obiora's mother knew she had asked for it. She began to blame herself, but soon she recovered. None of the women had anything like regret in their vocabulary of words. What they did and said at any time or place was absolutely right and must not be argued or even discussed. I am thinking of going to Lagos, Obiora's mother began. So I thought Amaka could give me a lift in her car. She lied. Of course, why not? She will certainly give you a lift in her brand new car. We poured libations the other day to celebrate the purchase of my daughter's car. I sent for you, but was told that you went to the funeral of a close relative. Oh, Amaka will soon come back. Wait for her. Actually, you would have the whole car to yourself after Benin, because my daughter would take the plane from Benin while you and the driver come by road. Amaka's mother had an edge over her, and she enjoyed it. Sure, you won't drink anything, not even a glass of water from the fridge. There is nothing like a glass of chilled water on a hot Onitsha afternoon. You didn't go to market today, Obiora's mother asked. Market? Amaka came home and I am busy taking care of her, helping her entertain her friends and age grade. I will start again when she returns to Lagos. Oh, that's the sound of Amaka's car. She is back. You are lucky. Amaka, your mother-in-law is here. Can your driver give her a lift to Lagos? It was too much for Amaka. She wanted to sit down first. She did not quite understand her mother. A lift to Lagos? Then she saw Obiora's mother and embraced her. Mother, it's been an age. Welcome. Nice of you to call. What is this that mother is telling me about Lagos? Are you going to Lagos? Obiora's mother nodded. I will certainly take you. I leave next week on Monday after service. But before then, I shall see you. And how are Obiora and the new wife or old wife and the sons? They are fine. You look so well, my daughter. Lagos is kind to you. She refused my cola and all I offered, Amaka's mother said. Mother, did you? Never mind, in Lagos we shall have a lot to eat, Amaka said, and then Obiora's mother left. Before 6 in the morning, Amaka and her driver were heading for Benin for Amaka to catch the first flight to Lagos.